because it's been a while since we used this one. This is going to be free tarot readings, mini reads, basically. A good time to get a free mini read from me and get to know me as a reader. We're just going to wait for people to enter the room. I thought about just doing channeled messages because sometimes I pick up energies and I don't think they're mine. And I don't know who they belong to. And I'm like, maybe it's someone on YouTube. We do have a few moderators and still looking for volunteers. It's usually Brandon or Polly, if they're available. If you've been here before, show yourself. I'm like kind of debating on checking if the mic is working. Excuse me. Channeled messages, I guess, while we wait for people and the algorithm to catch up. What my son was saying, because he's a big YouTube kid. He said that YouTube kept crashing on him. Has anyone else experienced that today? I was doing something earlier on YouTube and it froze. If you're in the room, can you let me know in the comments how the sound is? Because it's been a while since we used the mic. And unfortunately, I can't hear on this side. Are we good? Are we good? No one's gonna help? There's at least 8 people here and no one's gonna help? What is this? What is this? Okay, well, since no one's gonna say anything, we got silent observers. I was like that. I was like that when I met my mentor, Miriam, and she was also on YouTube. Has anyone came across Miriam Kramer? Brandon, our moderator, came from her network. Also known as Point Your Compass. I just feel like she reads different. She be reading different, okay? She changed my life, okay? We have more to share about that soon. Very, very soon. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie. I'm a tarot reader and intuitive coach since 2020. I do have a few About Me videos if you want to go check out the playlists and stuff. If you're curious about how I became a reader and my awakening story, because it wasn't always a thing, was not always a thing. I always had gifts like this. I just didn't know how to articulate them and utilize them. And if anything, I was shamed for it, deeply shamed for it. Hello, Chris Randall. Therefore, that means I have very low tolerance to BS in the chat when it comes to religious abuse and discrimination, oppressing people, those kind of things. My divine feminine is screaming out for justice lately. If you've been around on the TikTok and Instagram, you you know how I be feeling these days. And it's been hard to balance out and alchemize the rage. Justified fucking rage, okay? And I think my deities, Hecate and Juno and Persephone, would agree. Maybe I'm channeling right now, okay? Because I'm supposed to be law of attraction, my audience. And I want solutions, and I feel like me, Miriam, and Heather have found a solution. Technically, it's Miriam. Technically, let's be real, okay? But I feel like me and Heather are kind of like Gemini messengers too, as well as some others. Amba is amazing. Polly is amazing. He's also a moderator. He does meditations. He's also on YouTube and TikTok. You want to go check him out. He just started like getting into the candle stuff. Oh man, so fun. With how often I burn candles as a witch, I feel like I should be doing that too, honestly. And it's just like so therapeutic, you know? Hi! Interesting. How did I end up on this person's algorithm? Josh Ake. Will I ever give up methamphetamine addiction? Well, let's see. Let's see. That's tough. You got an enabler, apparently. Maybe you know this. Maybe. Could be a romantic thing. I heard that will be your demise. Sure. Obviously, this is for entertainment purposes only. You have your own free will. You're in the driver's seat. I'm just passenger, the witness to the journey. I have mixed. I've had a mixed bag with TikTok. I don't feel like it's really like benefited. Like it depends how your tarot business is set up, and I don't know. But Jess, you are someone I want to reach out to about this eventually when it's all set up, when it's more official. It's like getting down to like needing a notary type of thing. And so I'll feel better about talking about it when that's done. And so watch out if you're on YouTube or We're friends on Instagram or TikTok. I might reach out because I like what you do as a fellow lightworker reader also. Because I do sometimes collab with other readers. Yes, I totally want to get you in on it because I know you're super good at astrology. And I like need your help touching the other younger generation. I was looking at my data and I was like, the perfect person for that is like Jazz. I was like, I tend to hit anywhere from like 35 to 60 years old people. I also think it's her aesthetic, Jazz's aesthetic. So cute. Hi, Brandon. I hope that answered your question, Josh. Your ears ring. Oh, interesting. Have you had that a lot, Brandon? Getting spiritual upgrades? Things have been interesting in the air, right? We can also hang out and chill. Anybody got tarot questions? A lot. Mercury and Gemini Sunday. Hello, Miss She Bear 78. So funny. I joined this live and you're talking about deities. I was thinking about deities yesterday. Aligned. Yeah. I've been encouraged to lean in on that more, like my ancestors, but more in a old-fashioned kind of way. And so I've been very slow at it. Very slow. There's just like so much going on. Everything's moving at like such speed of light, but at the same time it's like very dense, intense. Interesting energy. Miss She Bear 78. I do tarot myself, but like to ask others about myself. Yes. I think I always say coaches and mentors also need coaches and mentors. Tarot readers also need their own tarot readers. Therapists need their own therapists. Doctors need their own doctors. You need like an outside third party bird's eye view perspective. It's very helpful. Everybody's got blind spots. That's why tarot readings are great. Yes. Yes, if it weren't for tarot readings and my mentor, I would be so lost. I would be so lost right now, you guys. There are times where I do have to take breaks from tarot readings and giving them. That's why, like, I've been very specific on how I've been going live. Also, how I've been posting my videos and stuff. Being more intentional with my energy. My focus has also been elsewhere. Yes, you can ask a question. It pulls on our energy. Yes, it does. And so maybe a slow live day is what we need. I was like, there's been times where it's like gone really fast. You just never know. You never know. Jazz. I was like talking to Doug too. I was like wanting to go live with him. We were talking about possibly doing a group, so maybe that's something we can talk about as well in the future. I do want to, I did think about going on TikTok. That's what's funny that you mentioned it. But then like I was doing cards and apparently I think I might have a stalker, like a fake account on there. It's very hard to figure it out, but what am I gonna do? Continue to live my life in fear? And we're not gonna talk about that too much on the live because most of my people know what's going on, the ones that matter. And if I give too much energy to it, monitoring spirits are fucking real, okay? I got a very strong 12th house. Yes, Jazz, it's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. But it won't be the rest of my life. And readers have already told me that they will be caught. So they might as well stop. But, you know, people's demons, they just like, they can't control them. They're so spiteful. And maybe this is a channeled message because we are seeing a lot of that crap out there. You want to know why things are happening the way that they are? Unhealed bullshit. Denial. Arrogance. Fall to the patriarchy. Nothing in it. Your 12th house is Cancer? Ooh. I wish I knew automatically, but I'm someone that has to research and look at a book. Girl, a lot of people have came to me complaining to me about being stalked. It was during the full moon in Scorpio. Seriously? Seriously? I guess that would be Scorpio type of behavior. I am dealing with a lot of Scorpio crap. A lot of people just like lurking, stalking, trying to yeet me, trying to backstab me. And I'm just like, what is going on? Literally just because I'm going against the grain and choosing myself. And I'm just like, it's just another fucking a day being an Aquarius, okay? Also, Gemini rising. I feel like Geminis tend to kind of get that too. You kind of tend to go your own way. People don't like that. I was just telling Monique about this and like a few other people. And I haven't actually watched it yet, but I've seen clips. And I was like watching someone on TikTok about manifestation stuff. We have to talk about this, you guys. But basically, the Truman Show, and to summarize, it's a story of Jim Carrey. This guy, he plays this character, and he does the same thing every day, and his life seems great on the surface, you know, but he just feels like something is wrong, and it's like so unfulfilling. And then one day he just starts doing something different and like, you know, starts taking a left, kind of like Alice in Wonderland, you know, that theory of going down the rabbit hole. And then he starts like receiving backlash from like everyone and everything around him because he's going against the storyline. And it's freaking crazy. And I call that breaking out of the matrix, evolving. When you're jumping timelines, that really does happen. And right now, you guys as my witnesses that this is literally happening to me in real time. But like I've posted everywhere. If anything happens to me, I do have some people that very much don't like me. I've triggered the wrong ones, okay? It sucks. I'm just like, you, you know, there's a certain discernment on knowing when to speak things as a truth teller. That's been something that I've been learning. But my ancestors and guides kick ass. And my 12th house, I feel like provides karma even if it's years later down the line when people do me wrong. So that makes me kind of feel good. I was like, I don't even have to lift a finger or to be vengeful. It's in my chart. The more I let go, the more things kind of go in my favor, which is very hard considering my codependent behaviors that I will forever have to heal from. I'm seeing all these in the 4K. Bro. So bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. It has me singing out of insanity lately. If you guys have been like watching some of my most recent content, you would understand. I was like, I am crashing out. I'm crashing out. And it feels good. I feel undomesticated, you know? F the Scorpio shit, seriously. Ooh, I wanna grab the Crotero. The handy dandy Crotero. Well, while we wait for people to like want to ask questions, we can just like talk and chat and catch up. Jazz, you want to spill some tea on me? Oh, sure. Let's see, what's the tea on Jazz? Love those glasses. Thank you. I've had them for probably, I think, 8 years. Mishy Bear, what did you ask? Okay, pop in your question after I get to Jazz, because I was already kind of tapped in. Show me what's the tea. Mackie Ken! I always get their username mixed up. So I'm just gonna go by what it says here, and we're gonna pretend you have different identities. Okay? It also might protect your privacy and mine, to be honest, with how things have been playing out. For now. For now. Don't let my guides get you. Guess, hold on a second. Show me Jazz. I think there's something about that there for you too, Jazz, with like ancestor play. And I guess you said you thought about your deities. What card fell? Is that the only one? Ain't shit. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I guess like what your guides have been encouraging is that attitude that you have, which is great, of that confidence of you ain't shit when it's the truth. Apparently, you may be helping someone and being a guide for someone. Dirt digging. So, I think you also have someone doing that to you too, like looking into you and stuff, someone you moved on from. Um, you also have competition, Jazz. Not friendly competition either. I think it might be a blind spot for you. It's a feminine. Let's see more. We're gonna do tarot too. Clout hungry. Okay, so that's what this is about. And you don't even notice, Jazz, because you're too busy winning. I feel like it'd be like that too. Like, okay, so there was this woman. You guys as my witness. This happens to me a lot in all kinds of ways. That's why I just like rather be in Virgo energy. stay to myself, okay? I stay in my own lane as much as possible, 'cause just even a little bit, people project their crap on me. So I knew this guy growing up, and I went to school with his sister. We stayed in touch over the years and whatever, whatever, right? So he had, like, some mental breakdowns that were very serious. They were very serious. And so I knew his family, therefore I reached out to his family, whatever. Somewhere down the line, 2 years later, I find out that he just, like, gets married, and this woman, this wife, starts getting him off his very important medication and starts feeding him, like, her pills, ayahuasca, mushrooms. This is why I advocate very seriously that just because you do some ayahuasca, whatever, whatever, does not mean you had a spiritual awakening. I think it can aid you, but it's not doing the work, or, you know, it doesn't it's not an instant thing. Anyway, she was crazy, and she found, like, some of our very old messages and felt very threatened by me as his friend. And she stalked me for like 4 years. She, like, posted a bunch of things on Facebook and said that, like, I sell nude pictures for money. I have an OnlyFans. Um, that I deserved everything that happened to me with my ex-spouse, who is very abusive and horrible to this day. And I guess I think they might have teamed up together. I know that they contacted each other at some point. So it ended up being kind of a gang stalking thing, but she didn't even live in the same state as me. That's what's crazy, is I was being cyber stalked and harassed. And there's not a whole lot the police can do. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that system's like so messed up. She's wild, dude. Yeah, I got lots of stories. Like, people, like, you see my posts, like, calling in community and, this and this happened, but I don't share the details at all. But this is why I'm very I've had to learn to have very strict boundaries and no bullshit. So maybe there's something like that for you, Jazz, actually. What they're saying is that there's something coming up for you. You don't even see it coming. As you rise, you might have something like that happening. And the lesson is for you to be King of Swords. At some point, you got to fight spiritually. Yes, yes. Um, and I think it depends on your chart as well, but I do think prayer in general is powerful. I do think, as a witch, if you got those witch genes and witch star DNA, that working with your deities, ancestors, and guides is very powerful. And so, channel message for Jazz. Yes. I wish you luck because that sucks. I got your back. My guides will team up with your guides and we'll be allies. I think it's when you have that star energy, you know? I can see it in you too, yes. Guest had a question. Okay. Guest will have to pop in again because I know Mishy Bear asked again. Okay. You're welcome. Does E still think about me and will come toward me for a relationship? Great way to form your question. Queen Rising. Clout hungry. An offer. Moving on. Okay. Jackpot. Girl fight. Fake smiles. Same shit, different day. Rejected. Is this someone that you go in loops with? Guess. Okay. If you get lost, you might have to pop it in again. Mishy Bear. Well, if you're not in loops with them, I guess what they're suggesting is that you will be if you don't walk away. It has something to do with his ego. The Hierophant. King of Pentacles. Two of Wands. Judgment. Okay, so it's a test. It's a test. But yes, I do think he will come back around, but stay in the frequency of that Queen Rising energy. Though he has a girlfriend, I think by the time he does, you're like already gonna be in King of Pentacles energy. He has a girlfriend or did. Yeah, I think they'll be back around. Devil. The High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, he might send you a message and confess something. What does he want from you? He wants a new beginning. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of that, to be honest. Like, don't be surprised people, like, suddenly kind of switching up. It's very Uranus and Gemini. Cheap thrills? Yes. Devil energy. I think they didn't expect to come across you. But it has more to do with your energy. Like, he wasn't seeing you correctly, is what I'm hearing. Never dated and no contact. Well, he's been in your life, it seems like, in some kind of weird loop. So it's not good, not a real good thing to pursue. Your guides encourage to walk away. What was guess question? Will I get a job soon? I heard fake it till you make it. So maybe you have some interview. Although, be careful of scams. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Don't give anyone money to get hired. Although, you're welcome. Brandon, about a job. Oh, yeah. There might be one where you need a background check. I think that would be the one where you get hired. It might require you to take like a Why can't I think of what they call it? Is Jazz here? She would know a P test. Like, to make sure you're not on anything. Why can't I think of the name? It's like, did I block it out? Show. What is that? Page of Wands. Urinal analysis. Yes, that is one. There's another one though where it's like nothing like that. Ace of Wands. Yeah. Nine of Wands. Yeah. Yeah, you'll get a call back. Looks like you will get a job. Hang in there. So, tarot can be interesting where sometimes you can completely change, like butterfly effect kind of stuff. I've seen it happen, you guys. It was crazy. Because I know the difference between, I don't know, present moment when a reading is playing out exactly aligned and when you're at a crossroads and you're at a transition and you're about to timeline jump. It's freaking wild. No, I never did any drugs. I'm just saying that they might be asking you those kind of questions, as an employer. Like you might be required to take a test, thing. Um, but so I was explaining, sometimes a reading can give you like a map of where you're at, you know? It's like a map, and you're like looking, okay, I just told you that be careful of scams and anyone trying to ask you for like money. And you're like, okay, I hit that point. That happened yesterday at 2 p.m. And then you're like, okay, when is the manifestation coming in? When is it coming in? And then you get a call back and you're like, hey, would you be okay with a background check and maybe taking a urine sample, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh shit, it's what Allie said. It's what Allie said. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, I was not accusing you. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like people put words in my mouth, or I just like it sounds it. Okay, so can we talk about it? I have a Cassandra curse, and so my audience is very specific. It's very specific. And what that means is like I have like an asteroid that goes through my chart that creates like a blockage for people to like not even be able to hear me if they're not on the same frequency as me. So that sucks. But also, the cool thing is what I've noticed is when I do attract certain people in, they tend to be around for a while, like a very loyal type of subscribing, following, fan, audience, clients, what have you. Like a lot of my clients is very Venus, Libra, Taurus energy, because of where Venus is in my chart. And so I walk very slowly with people. Long-term bonds, long-term bonds. Those are important to me. You know? Oh yes, I have hospital background. Yeah, see what is the other names? Jazz also has background in that, and that's why I was asking her. Like the first thing I heard was P test. And then Brandon said basically what? A urine sample? What did he say? I don't remember. I don't want to scroll. I think my Venus is in Libra, but not 100% sure. Urinalysis. Yes. There's also another word that doesn't have urine or pee. Why can't I remember? Scott, how did my assessment go today for my job application? Will it progress? A lot of work. A lot of people asking about work today. What's crazy is Capricorn is in my eighth house? I think it's my eighth house. 10th house? Eighth house. One of those two to double check. So I attract like a lot of people that work, people that can build. Show me, Scott. How did the assessment go today? I need to work on grounding myself. It's hard. I know, Brandon, yeah. Go check out Polly's meditations. See what fits for you. Polly is also doing something called forest bathing, which I did not know that that was a name or a thing, but I totally, yes, absolutely. I look back at some of my experiences when I was younger and I was like, oh, they were totally spiritual experiences. I was totally bathing in the forest. So maybe that's a message for you, Brandon. Go bathe in the trees. Bad habits. Bankrupt. Happiness hater. Cock blocking. So your assessments, I think it's good. They have a question though. Feels like a blocked throat chakra. So you might have to advocate for yourself. Like you might have like a previous employer or a coworker. What is going on with this energy? It's like, is it all the Aries energy? You're welcome, guest. He's above me in the mitten state. Um, you might have to retrieve information or explain something. And if you want to know like why, it's because someone's trying to like get in the way. This is also what I said, you guys, breaking out of the matrix. And maybe, I don't know. I'm here today to be a witness and a messenger for those that feel like they're going crazy or they're going to be gaslit. Because, like, it be like that. And that's why, also, why readings are great, is because you have that outsider view of your blind spot. So I guess it depends on that. It depends how you handle it. But I would say good, but there's questions. Show me ocean. Is my wife cheating on me, even if just emotionally? Ocean music. Cyberbully. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Ego. You are welcome. Yes. Scott, it's so hard to do live sometimes. And I feel you guys pulling on my energy. Answer! This is why we gotta talk about more what it's like being an intuitive psychic online and doing lives. It's a lot harder than people think, but it feels like a timeline jump, depending on your choices. I would tread carefully. I think that's why you had the heads up. Is it might have something to do with the way you communicate and react. And I would say put on your best face and just state the facts, is what they're giving me. Sometimes I don't have all the answers, you guys. It just depends on my guides, your guides, and what I'm allowed to see. You know? You know? I'm not a machine. Fake accounts. Drama starter. Threatening. Um, Ocean music. Let's do some more tarot because they're giving me a storyline. And it feels like, well, you're about to find out. The moon. The moon is here. A tower. More Scorpio energy. Lovely. Oh, yes. Brandon, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're in need of a personal reading, go ahead and check out my links. I did just give the website an upgrade, FYI. I wanted to make it more universal based on the current data and needs. And I felt like it just needed more clarification. There was people always ask me lots of questions, and I think it's because of my Gemini placement. And I'm like, okay, how can we squash all these questions? The Hermit, the Hanged Man, so it's up to you what you want to do, but I would say what you find is cheating. So you're gonna find something. It's gonna be via social media if you haven't found anything yet. You have an inkling is there, and so you can move on from it, although there might be a cycle of when you have a hard time letting go. Hmm. That feels like you might need a personal reading, Ocean Music, to be honest. I was like, let me know how that goes. I would suggest getting away from the drama, though, after you find what you need to find. Retro. I hope that answers your question. Did I miss anyone? You're welcome. See? So many career messages today. That's crazy. Oh, maybe it's because I did an affirmations video. And a lot of it was like business and career. That's funny. Maybe that's why. Can I get a career job message from my spirit team? Yes, yes. Everybody wanting to tap into their spirit team? Yes, I have met my audience. Hello, Mom. I do have a lot of mother energy. I really do. It's in my chart. Can you pull some cards on the current energy with CB? Okay, yes. You might have to pop it in again after I get to 01 MJ10. MJ10, show me career job messages from the spirit team. Drama starter. What is this? Oh, is it what you're trying to get away from? So you have a coworker or ex-coworker that wants to steal your light. 5362. You may. 1 second. Show me career messages. Reflecting. Moving on. So if you haven't, will it focus? I've never used this filter option before. Can we get it together? So if this hasn't happened yet, MJ10, then I guess this is a future heads up. You are absolutely stunning. Thank you, babe. Thank you. Magic tarot cards. Has that bitch left you alone? We've also dealt with a online cyberbully stalker. A lot of us tarot readers. What is her name? I don't even remember her name because she's so fucking irrelevant. Like, she came onto my fucking channel asking me for a reading, and then she just started lashing out on me, and she sent me threatening emails, spam emails. She hasn't left magic tarot cards alone. I called the police on her again. People are crazy, dude. Lucifer Lord. So, I'm in the midst of a job career change. Well, apparently that you might have a saboteur. Just FYI. So let's pull some tarot cards. Lauren is unbothered. Brandon, thank you. Brandon's so good at remembering this kind of stuff. Just Ask Wifey is her name now. Lucifer. I just realized what magic tarot cards meant. That's funny. She really is. Show me what's going on with this career thing. Okay. 4 of Cups in reverse. The Chariot. Uh-oh. You're not gonna like this message. Oh! Did I pop out? Bitch, 1 second. My light. Regenerating. Okay, so is that like your job? That might be the job that you come across. Is that you're someone that handles those kind of things? Like crisis kind of situations? Or like the guy that gets shit done when things are falling apart? There's that message there. 2 of Wands in reverse. Chariot. So, okay. Interesting. It gives me like almost like a counselor customer service kind of vibe where you're able to sit with someone else's emotions. That would be like the right fit for you. However, this might require you to like move, relocate, or travel in some way, but there's a flexible option to be hybrid remote. I was just stopping by to say hi. Yes, hello. It's always good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. I hope they catch that crazy bitch. Can we normalize calling people out on their bad behavior? Okay. Because silence is what oppresses people and what continues abuse. Double tap to like the video if you agree. So we can get it to my black sheep, okay? Because I know that they're out there. Like, there's another reader on YouTube where she deals with a lot of stalking stuff too. Like, I honestly think there's a spiritual attack on a lot of. Like, it's a curse. There's a curse going on, but we can defeat it. Light can drown out darkness, right? I've been in a caregiver role looking to move up. Definitely spongy empathy. Yes, it looks good. It looks good. I think you're gonna be happy. Mhm. What is this? I feel like they're giving me a relationship read for you. Got relationship stuff going on? That might be something you need to confront on the way with this change. I wish I could take the NC Lex without going to college. What's that? What is that? And I'm an entrepreneur. I went to beauty school. I did not go to college. Although I feel like it would have been a waste for someone like me. I was like, I operate just differently. I feel like I learn faster and I can get by in life quicker that way. A nurse's aide. I attract a lot of people in the medical field and law. What's that about? Relationship, love, or business? They were giving me a relationship read on the side for you, I guess. I'm sorry. Aunt Rose. I'm a builder too. Foxy Flex 44A. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. I have been calling in specific energies. Why do I start open and vulnerable in a relationship and then I close off? It's a pattern I can't figure out. Foxy Flex 44. Like 9 is my next job at IBM. You might have to pop that in as I'm getting to Aunt Rose 07. What's going on with Aunt Rose? Ignoring. Stalker. Moving on. I don't know, maybe you dealt with a weirdo at some point in your life. Caught a case. Fake accounts. The recommendation was to light a candle and return to sender, basically. So if you don't do that, I would recommend doing that because you might just like have a monitoring spirit pulling on your energy. But it's also giving me uninterested. It's also giving me, oh, okay. Well, I've never thought about this before. Because I was going to talk about like people's demons, the things that they unheal from. And they're saying that the the lack of connection, the wanting to, and then shutting down is like a negative entity, like almost like a disembodied spirit impacting people's energy. Um, but it comes from being at a certain frequency. So that's where shadow work is involved. I've never like thought about that, but that's what they're giving me. But we're not on you, Foxy Flex. Everybody's like in a very edgy way, and I just want to say that I have very low tolerance. Um, Hermit. chakra blockages. Have you ever looked into that? There was someone along the way that shot down your confidence. It's slow and subtle. You're you're best when you feel free, but also when you create relationships from a friendship based. If you can stay balanced, I also do think that you rely a little bit too much on other people's opinions, expectations, and responsibilities, and it becomes an energetic weight. Therefore, you shut down. And so it's kind of like a pattern that you've had. Obviously, you know that. But that is the why is like a mix of those things. It's weird because I've never like talked about attachment styles like that. But I know for like me, if you're on Instagram, I've done a lot of like shadow work journal prompt posts. I'm also on Patreon, FYI, where I go a little bit deeper into that stuff. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But I did talk about like my shadow work love journey myself, and I have like a mix of fearful and disorganized attachment. It is what it is, okay? It is what it is. You can't change what you can't confront. But like, I didn't realize this until way later down the line when I was confronted with my marriage that fell apart, and I was like looking at myself, and yeah, there's no way a person could come out the same after dealing with something like that. And I would never want to come at love from an energy and frequency that's that, you know? And so there maybe there's a message in there for you. Like commitment to self, the healing journey. It truly is a journey. Healing is not linear, right? I've never had a long-term relationship and I'm 37, Brandon. Some people don't. Some people it's like later in life. Some people it's never. It just depends. I think MJ, you're kind of at the point where I gave you the reading, and if you need a personal reading, you can reach out. I will check it out. Yeah. Okay, so what other tarot readers do you guys watch on YouTube? Like, what does your guys' algorithm look like? I'm just curious because, like, I've been filtering through, I've been a reader for 6 years. And so I've added a bunch. I've added a bunch because that's how I learned. And that's also how I met my mentor. And a lot of people, YouTubers, you'll see me in the chat. I've been moderators for other people before, and other psychics can feel me in the chat, and so they'll shout me out, "Hey, synchronistically." It's just like, you know, I see you, you see me type of alien feeling is the best way I could describe it. Um, I wasn't sure because so like who I watch, I have, like, a mixed base, like, I feel like I have, like, more intuitive channeling, not just tarot readers, um, because they're so vague and generic, and yeah, that absolutely could resonate. It can be good for, like, a counseling session, feels very similar to that. Whereas personal reads are good for like going more in depth and helping navigate your situation, which is what you're asking, and I'm not going to do that. I don't do live mini reads to do that. That's like an in-depth, and it's an energy drain. It's a gift, yes, but just like any skill, talent, or gift, you get paid for what you do, right? Okay. And so free questions is a great way to just like get to know me as a reader and to like kind of catch a vibe on your situation and read, but you're in the driver's seat of your own life. But anyway, like I was saying, the people that I watch on YouTube, a good example of why I understand spiritual boundaries and why other readers get frustrated or take breaks. For example, Tyler's Tarot. He calls people out and yells at people all the time in the chat, and it actually, I think, helps his fan base and the audience because he's fucking yelling at people, and sometimes I've had to do that. And you and you can be nice about it, and I will also be nice about it. Let's not forget, I do have like a little bit of a corporate background where I can also say, "No, thank you." No, no, thank you, but basically a fuck off and good day. You have to like readings don't they can help you with your choices, they don't make your choices. And I feel like people kind of project that onto readers and also have like just like this detachment with people online in general and forget that we're human and forget that I have a life, that I also struggle as a human. And so when I have a limit on my energy and like what I can even give out, respect my limit, and my boundaries is my self-love to those limits. Aunt Rose. Yes, I hope that answered your question. I can't remember yours. A lot of the times I just like I give out the piece of information and then it's gone. Sometimes I'll remember people's readings, but only if spirit wants me to. Only if spirit wants me to. Brandon, yes, there is different readers for sure. They're so different. Oh, speaking of which, go check out Woke One's Revolution with Miriam and Heather. I was like, I might as well keep saying it as often as I can now because we're about to do a launch and it was unexpected. So, if you're into like astrology and stuff, go check that out too. They have interesting reads. She reads completely different than me. Heather reads completely different as well. So, we're all about the tribe. What's coming towards me in love? We might have gotten lost in the questions. We were talking about readers on YouTube. James 13 Wicca on Fridays. Really, Brandon? You'll have to send me a message if you can on TikTok or Instagram because I'm probably not going to remember that. But I do have a notepad now. Let's take Brandon's suggestions because that's a new one I haven't heard. Fridays, huh? Does he have a schedule? Kyle of Cups. Mino Pod. I think I do watch him. Austin's tarot. I've watched Frankie's tarot. I like hers. Austin's tarot. I'm still getting to know the other YouTube readers' names outside of their their channel names or usernames. If they're willing. Some of them are not. One of my favorites is Noonie. Leo in the third house. I like him a lot. He's fun to hang out with on lives and just to talk with. I don't know who was first, so we're just gonna go with what spirit wants me to take. Being that these are free, donations and tips are appreciated but not required. I do have Cash App and Venmo links. You don't have to. The intuitive check-in is 1111 US dollars, and that is the lowest tier, and that was a new thing. The lowest tier before was at 44.44 for an in-depth reading. So I feel like I'm being pretty generous, okay? I'm being pretty generous. We don't always do free question lives. How much is a reading? Well, we have the intuitive check-in for 1111, and in-depth would be 44.44, and then we have a couple other tiers if you like a recorded reading or the intuitive coaching program. And if you want, check out my website. I have basically a FAQ with a folder of the most asked questions, and I feel like that would kind of help navigate things for you. Oh, I did see your question twice, and Spirit's pulling me into that one. Another job question, you guys. I swear it's because of the affirmations. It's working. They really do work. Brandon Bailey, I've been coaching myself for a year now. Now I need to start working on my physical body. Oh, that's great. Good job. Is my next job at IBM? Travel. Broke ass. Same shit, different day. Unfazed. Moving. Threatening. You're welcome. Moves in silence. Unbothered. Are you transitioning jobs? I would move in silence if you are transitioning jobs. Don't tell anyone. You might not know this, but I think who you're working for, like, they're not doing well financially. So it's a good time to go. It's a great time to go. I'm private. Yes. Yes, it has become an energetic burden to you. Hmm. Is this a yes or a no question? Let's dive deeper. I can't always control the messages that wants to come out. And yet sometimes I'm like, give me a straight answer. I think it might also have to do with me having a Mercury in Pisces. And so I am challenged in that way. But it can be great for other things. It can be great for other things. Mimicry. Curiosity. I don't think that's going to be your next job. I think your curiosity is going to be elsewhere. But there's something about the other one that you're talking about that has like a vibe of something you've already experienced before. You're welcome. I always want to say yes because I'm rooting for y'all, but maybe that's not the best situation for you, the aligned version. As Doug would say, I might as well start talking about Doug more too because we've been talking about collabing more, and I would like never be an online reader if it wasn't for Doug. And so I came from more Facebook groups and Instagram. I started going live with other readers on Instagram, and Doug was one of the first people that I went live with. He is from Washington State on the east side, and he's been doing this for 20, I think 20 plus years, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, but he has very specific niches too. Very specific. Lily, yes, pop in yours if I missed you. Brandon Bailey, your Mercury's in Gemini. Of course it is. Too fast. You're welcome. Lily, let's see if I can find your. Well, Lily, if you're still here. Otherwise, we will move on. She retracted something. When you have a chance, I have a question. What is your question? We've been here for 76 minutes? That's crazy, you guys. That's crazy. Well, thanks for hanging out. When? Okay, well, energy is fluid with cards, but we can try. Show me, when will that... Damn OJ? Is that what it says? When will I hear from Abby? If that's not what it says, that's funny. That'd make it even funnier. When will I hear from Abby? Six of Cups. Aw, soulmate energy. Thank you for getting it right. Goodness gracious. This person has lots to say. When will you hear from them? Well, you will. That's for sure. If that was like something you were doubting. 1 second. Is the whole deck fell. The Hierophant, the Chariot is part of this. Goodness gracious. Well, I think she's been dealing with a lot. Let's just say that. And maybe you know this. You're holding space for this person. Five of Wands. Once they get through the Five of Wands, the chaos and the conflict, double energy. And she's just like tied up in something. And more has to do with her emotionally walking away from something. And that's when you'll hear from this person. Do you guys just hear my shoulder pop? Ow. Her sister had a baby last week. Yeah, well, I think it's more than just the baby thing. It feels like family stuff. Like there's a lot of. She also has like a lot of scheduling conflicts. And it's also has to do with her own internal conflict right now, apparently. Interesting. It's like this feeling of something always getting in the way of what you guys have. Gosh, my allergies, you guys. And to think that we just had like a air cleaning. You're welcome. Yes, it seems that way. You're welcome, yeah. Should I give up on L, Brandon? Show me Brandon. Should he give up on L? Who is L? Show me L. Three of Cups in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse. Seven of Cups. It feels like a delayed reaction. I don't know what that is. Hmm. She have like a toxic person around them, Brandon? She's just like unavailable. You could block this person, but you feel like Ten of Cups energy. And it's mutual. Her brother, gosh, he's just like eating away at whatever. Just, it feels like a bigger situation than that, a deeper situation. Linda Veronica, can you pull cards on my love life? Like, subscribe. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, please double tap to like the video. Helps boost the algorithm and all that jazz. Show me Linda Veronica. That also feels like a situation, Brandon, where you have that choice. I pay attention to how you feel. It's like I refrain trying my best telling people what to do, but sometimes my cards are very specific and will be like, fuck no, you know? It just kind of depends, but it I'm also going through that too, Brandon, just FYI. Like the sense and feeling of who are my people. And I think that's like what you're going through and discerning. But I think you know that this person is going through a lot and it has nothing really to do with you. I have and like you're being directed, Spirit said. Let your curiosity take you. Use your Gemini. If you have to, lean on Miriam's readings because those help. Show me Linda Veronica. What's going on in their love life? I'm afraid of Sunday. Ten of Pentacles, but it was in reverse. Nine of Swords. I'm also afraid of Sunday. What's happening Sunday? Miriam said good things, but there's also been times I'm like, that's what you you anticipated. I don't know. I think sometimes the obstacle is the way. I do. I think there's sometimes opportunities and things that we don't understand or see, and it's floating in the energy. And that's what's great about astrology, is it's kind of like a weather forecast, but for planets and energy. They Emperor in reverse, Mercury and Gemini. Can you pull cards on your love life? It don't look great. Let me just say that. I don't like the Emperor in reverse. Brandon, I have to study both tarot and astrology at the same time because I'm multi-focused, really. 13 years single now. Love triangle moves in silence. Well, apparently this is future oriented. Moving. Running. Okay, so if you run into this person, get away. Get away. Like if you've ever looked into online dating, might be a warning. Yeah. Well, dating apps. So there's this thing, and I don't know if it fits for everywhere, but it does exist in places that I know of, and it's called Are We Dating the Same Guy? If you're on Facebook, you can search groups. Um, Honestly, I feel like abusers and people that cheat should have like some kind of like roster like they do for sex offenders, but apparently that doesn't even matter these days because I don't know, in my country everything's ran by pedophiles, so don't get me started on that rant. So, I guess be careful when to you might like have like a beautiful light about you where you attract I don't know, did you also like might have you ever dealt with someone controlling? Because the Emperor in reverse is like an abusive masculine. Otherwise, there's one that you might interact with, and it's saying to run if you do come in contact with this person. There's a lot of them on dating apps, just FYI. Be careful what you see online. Things are not what they seem, okay? Like what you see here, bro, dude, you have no idea. I was like, I have multiple tasks sitting out in front of me right now, probably 5 to 10 that you don't see right now. And so think about that when you're looking at dating apps. Just because you see a picture of someone smiling and they have a child or a dog, or they're out hiking, oh, they're so adventurous. No, no, no. Oh my God, should I be worried? I would do your due diligence as a woman, is all I'm saying. I have heard of like successful connections and relationships happening because of dating apps and online. Yes, I've heard that happening, but I've also heard of horror stories too from the same people that have used it as well. And so they've had to learn. Like I had one girlfriend that crashed her car because of a Tinder date. Okay. I think that really shifted things for her and changed her life, but be careful of the company you keep. You don't know who they are. Like, I recommend like meeting up in a public place. Like, don't invite anyone to your home or vice versa. First date, unless you're into that. Unless you're into that, but if it's someone that you've never met before, especially, that's how people like get murdered and stuff. I mean, I do watch a lot of true crime, but it really is real. It's like everyday occurrences, is all I'm saying. Anyway, Spirit wouldn't give that message if it wasn't serious. So, You know, I'm like thinking back to like a couple of times when I've been on a live read and Spirit has saved my ass. Like, Spirit has given a message to via Miriam on a live before with one of her networks and readers. Gosh, what is her, why can't I think of her name? Can't think of her name, but she's been on a live with Miriam before. But basically, it saved me and my son's life. Their advice. I didn't realize, like, I don't know, I was so busy. That's why I'm a big believer about, like, getting in hermit energy, detoxing, the overconsumerism, even, like, having limits on your electronics because the hustle is meant to distract you. And spirit will sometimes work through other people and messengers and use synchronicities and signs everywhere around you to send you a message. Like, it doesn't have to come through me, it can be through other things too. When I'm in a better space, in a safer spot, I will share more of those stories with you. But I'm so fucking grateful for her. No, it wasn't Jamie, Brandon, but they have been on a live before, yes. And maybe I'm just channeling because I'm supposed to be sharing more of these stories, and also because Miriam's coming out with this product that we're also going to be giving to you guys, the collective, as a service. And I think it's going to squash a lot of tarot readings, to be honest. Like, it depends how much of a skeptic you are, but I think people are like wanting to be more frugal with their money as well. And it would be like an idea of, should I invest into this person, place, or thing? And this would basically answer all of that in astrology form. And as you know, I'm an intuitive reader, yes, psychic channeling, but there's a lot of astrology involved in this and what I do. I use all the things. I like to stay open minded. There's also more niches and things that I think are going to be added to my business that I'm very excited about. You did not miss your reading. We just unfortunately didn't get to yours. We've been here for 93 minutes. I just realized I was behind on the live. Katarina, you've been here before, haven't you? Right? I believe you have. Um, if you're on TikTok, you can go find me there because I have thought about going live there. I just like I don't know. I don't feel like I catch what I'm looking for over there very often. Oh, okay. We will be live again. So unless it's super urgent, then maybe it's not for you. Because I already feel drained and I don't like to feel drained when I'm giving a reading. I'm not my best, okay? But be open to the messengers in your life. I'm glad you're back. See, I told you. My people come back. They know my readings are accurate. If you like need something like quick, Katarina, because I don't want to leave you hanging if you really need one. We have an intuitive check-in on my website. It's 1111. It's like the lowest tier. Otherwise, just like wait for the next live. Keep your alerts on. It's always pretty random. Me, Miriam, and Heather have talked about going live together. Maybe, maybe not. If not, me and Doug for sure. When? I don't know. Just keep your alerts on. I do like the news of the business and everything in the channel on the community page as well. If you want the inside scoop and want to be part of the Soul Fam, check out the Patreon because we're building a little community there. That's where I feel safe to like share my journal entries, my writings, my blog things. I even share like my kitchen witch journey with like my recipes and stuff, and going deeper into basically the witch life, the spiritual life, however you want to put it. And I just like, I don't know. I don't feel it's not that like I'm not open to the public in that way. I just like to keep those things private. And as a psychic, it's just like not everybody's like at that same level or ready. And I don't know. I'm slow in that way with the trust building. And I feel like a lot of the people that I come across, they're kind of the same way. Therefore, I feel like I have a pretty consistent and loyal following, which is nice. Which is nice. So I appreciate it. Thank you. It's not urgent. It's okay. No worries. Yes. Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah. I think like see that's like the perfect example of a good nervous system of when you should get readings and when you should not get readings is someone that can discern that, you know. I've had like times where I felt urgent for a reading from my mentors as well. And she's had to like kind of be like, you know, calm down or this is all I got to give. And I usually take that as okay, it's probably anxiety. I probably don't need to hear it right now. So I don't know. Maybe that's a message for someone out there. Maybe. I don't know. But thank you everyone for joining. I hope you have a good night. Until next time. Bye.